I'm going to have a few comments to make regarding our police department here. But before I talk about what a great job that they do, I want to comment on the ineptitude of the state's attorney, Kim Foxx. In 2020 and so far in 2021, there have been over 100 children, 20 years and under, shot and killed in the city of Chicago. In the city of Chicago alone, not all of Cook County. To put this in perspective for something that we hear a lot about, in the same time period, there have been 25 children, 20 and under, die with COVID and other comorbidities in the entire state. 100 kids. It's high time that Kim Foxx and others keep our kids safe from this violence. However, what we hear from her repeatedly, from Kim Foxx and others on this topic, is that we need more gun laws. This is garbage. What we need is for you to enforce the laws that are on the books. And as we've shown, Kim Foxx seems to be confused because she doesn't, a lot of these offenders are out again and again and again. She ran for the state's attorney. That is a prosecutor. She's not a public defender. She needs to stop behaving like one, and she needs to start acting like a prosecutor. Our police department has proactively taken guns off the street, and as you saw, 39 arrests for gun charges. Of all these gun charges, one was a licensed gun owner, and that was because he had a DUI, is why he got it. So it was a very minor offense on the gun side of things, big on the DUI. With all these serious violations in existing gun laws, 80% were prior criminals, like I said. They're being released, as we saw in earlier reports, for bonds that average less than $5,000. Some are being released on their own recognizance. That's unacceptable. Now, let's look at the legislature. What have they done? We got HB 3653, which eliminates cash bail and tried to turn our officers into criminals. The bill also made it illegal, get this, illegal for them to access their body cameras when writing reports. Why would anyone want police reports to be inaccurate? I'll tell you why. So that officers can be impeached in criminal proceedings and criminals can go free, as well as to cast doubt on those officers' testimony in future cases. Our residents need to remember those representatives who are anti-police and pro-criminal in the 2022 elections. We have several that represent Orland Park that voted for this abomination of a bill. In spite of the lack of support from the state's attorney's office and attacks on our police officers from the state legislature, the Village of Orland Park Police Department continues to do a fantastic job. Our index crimes were the lowest in 25 years in 2019 and reduced another 20% in 2020. Cynics said that crime wasn't really down, and this was because of COVID closures of the 74 days the chief mentioned. Well, here we are in 2021, everything's open, and crime is down another 17%. In violent crime, already the lowest per capita for towns over 50,000 people, is down 28%. This is because our police department is proactive, and I want to thank you, Chief. I also want to thank Orland Square Mall for working with us to put the youth supervision policy in place. This is something that our police chiefs and I have been working on since 2019, and we are very happy that we finally came up with a workable solution, and I think the results you saw. Thefts at the mall are down over 20% thanks to this program. I also want to congratulate the department on the success of the mobile response unit, which has driven committals down by 12% like you saw, even with mental health calls being up 38%. So it's really driven down the amount of time our officers have to spend on these committals. And this has resulted in rolling that program out to neighboring communities even sooner than we planned because of the amazing results. There are 4 reasons I'm going to highlight for this outstanding performance from our police department, in my opinion. First and foremost, it begins with a team effort. This starts with outstanding officers and leadership, including the police chief and his command staff. This team also includes our village board and all of the boards that came before us that have made public safety a priority. So I want to thank the boards that came before us on this as well. It also includes the village manager and his office, so I want to thank you. Additionally, our public information office provides significant support, so thank you, Nabia. Lastly, when we add to the team, our police department places high emphasis on hiring the highest quality people that meet Orland Park standards. Second, something that is often overlooked or talked about in passing, and the chief mentioned it, are clearance rates. We catch criminals when they commit crimes. This isn't an accident. We devote resources to this and make sure this happens. Our officers effectively do their job, and we also are creative and willing to try new approaches like Wanted Wednesdays. Third is the use of our data to track results of programs that are implemented and track where issues are emerging. We try a lot of different things. Some work, some don't, but you never know if they do or don't if you don't track them. The use of this data allows us to put proactive programs in place, which is the final reason for our success. The youth supervision policy is a prime example of a proactive program. Another was our proactive and aggressive response to the looting and rioting that took place at the end of May and beginning of June throughout the Chicagoland area. This approach kept Orland Park safe throughout. It is also our proactive approach that has resulted in dozens of illegal guns being taken off the streets. I can only imagine the results we could have if the state's attorney actually put criminals behind bars where they belong. Chief, on behalf of myself, my family, and the residents of Orland Park, I want to thank you, your leadership, your officers, your support staff, and the entire department for all you do to keep us safe, and you set the gold standard for community policing that is an example for the entire country to follow. So thank you.